I'm so happy that we have reached 10 subscribers so far, and I'm pretty sure that we'll be reaching 10 million subscribers soon. I am sure that that's gonna happen 100%, is primarily because the content that I am sharing with you is something which is so uncomparable and unparalleled. And I am in this feeling, like I'm in this euphoria, and I had already become convinced that I could share the content of well-being to the large audience as much I could reach in these coming days. It takes some time, but we will eventually reach there. So let us enjoy this journey together. And that being said, let us get started on today's topic. And today's topic is something which is so deep in me, and this topic especially, and this is which I always love to share. And people have a different perspective and perception towards the topic that we are discussing today, but then there is a different meaning, and there is a different consideration, and there is a different thought process and perspective that we should have, or one should have, towards the topic that we are discussing today. And the topic is the death. You will be like, why should we even talk about something or some concept or information or topic that we are not sure or aware of, or we have a very less visibility or control over the topic that we are talking today? Why should we even talk about such subject that doesn't make any sense after all for the living existence? You might be wondering, like, do I have expertise on death, or how do I know, or do I know any concept related to this topic that I am talking today? And how can I educate you, or convey you, or share the content with related to this, so whatever you call it as, suspicious or imaginative or illusion oriented topic, which is the death? Am I even qualified to talk about death? Do I have all the tools and the prescription to talk about death? Is that what you're looking out for? So maybe in the future days you will get to know, like, wow, you may get an answer to all these questions that you have in your mind right now. So the conversation and the content about these topics requires a huge level and intense level of discussion, and there is a lot of content which I would like to talk, but then I would like to limit it so that I don't like confuse you. Or sometimes, what happens if I try to give you some information which you are not matured enough to handle, then it becomes then I may not be the right way, that may not be the right way to convey the content. So there is a preparation which is required from the receiver as well to understand the concept of death. And that preparation is not like and that preparation is like something, okay, I'll just share that with you right now. So that preparation is like to practice Panchakriya Shuddhi. And what is Panchakriya Shuddhi and all those things? Oh my god, I'm just so this content, like it is so linked in a way. So if I sit and talk, it takes hours and hours and days for me to talk about, and it is like a never ending content. So, but still I love to share with you all the auspicious thing about death, and why death is so auspicious, and why it is underrated. And I am here to educate you all to understand and live a life so that you die totally. By totally I mean through Purushartha principles, so which is like attain moksha by following Dharma Marga and earn the Artha and fulfill all your desires. So that is a way to live a life in a thoughtless state and mark an end to your psychological aspect of your life. And lead a immortal life. So what is mortality and immortality? And you'll be like, how can a human be, or how can I and you be immortal? So that is something which is only for the goddess and the god. Only they can be immortal. So if you are having such kind of thoughts, and if you think that you can't be immortal, then that's not the case. That is because maybe you may not have the right knowledge, or there may not be the right content at your disposal to understand what is mortality and immortality. So just to pump you up, mortality, by mortality I mean an end to your psychological aspect and the physical aspect of yourself. And by immortality I mean, well, that requires a continuous discussion, which we will discuss in upcoming days. So the content of this entire video that I am sharing today on death, so this content that came to me was, or the content that was derived was from an image. So I just randomly came across this one image, and that image struck on my mind, and then there is a lot of information which I extracted from this image alone. And this is just an ordinary image for so many of you, so that I would like to share that in some time, maybe in a while. But the entire content for this video, just to repeat it again, came from this one single image. So generally speaking about this topic of death, is a natural and inevitable part of life cycle for literally for all of our human beings, as well as for any living organism. So it is this permanent cessation of all biological function that sustain an organism life. See, death, various reasons. So generally speaking, it could be because of old age, just natural death, that is when the Saturn is good, and because of disease, maybe because of the Mars effects, and injury. Death can happen because of injury, again that is because of Mars, and there could be many other factors that can disrupt the body's ability to function properly. And this concept of death is complex, and it is an universal topic, and people have various beliefs. So by people I mean the people who practice different aspects, or the people who is coming from different culture. So they have their philosophical beliefs, and the death itself is a cultural thing. It can be a cultural customs. There can be many things which is surrounding a death. So it is important to approach the discussion about death with uttermost sensitivity and respect. See, that is because so the people may have deeply personal and culturally influenced perspective on this topic. On the other side, the study and the understanding of death have implications for medical ethics. So if you are like the content or the discussion that we are having today about this death, so it falls under which category? So is that something purely that we are discussing today is cultural norms, or is that something to do with psychological aspect, or medical ethics, or is this purely philosophical content? Well, you will get that answer eventually as when you progress over this. So okay then, so let us get back to the topic. And so I just want you to check out this image, and I don't know the source of this image, I just found this on the internet. So I just want you to take a closer look at this, and we'll just come back after that.